Hello, just over 40 years ago, Ken Russell made a film on Elgar for the BBC arts programme Monitor, which was where we met. It was considered at the time, and still is by many critics, to be the finest arts film ever made for British television. Since then, he's directed feature films of varying quality and success, and made several television films for the South Bank show. His reputation has zoomed and flagged, but is now an established star on the film festival circuit. I wanted to commission him to make a film to mark our 25th season, and he decided to revisit Elgar. It's back to Ken's earliest filming days, surprising, a bit naive, gently pointing out Elgar's interest in women other than his wife, and his eccentricities, both of which were underplayed 40 years ago. Here it is then. I asked him to deliver his own commentary. Russell rides again.
The music of Edward Elgar will forever be associated with England and the Malvern Hills which inspired him. But it seemed nobody was interested in the work of a young provincial composer at the end of Queen Victoria's reign. Self-taught and son of a humble shopkeeper in Worcester, he had no social airs or graces to help his career, and the fact he was a Catholic didn't help matters either. So Elgar was forced to eke out a living, peddling his services as a violin teacher, also available to play in local bands. As he cycled about his business, the perspective from the Malvern Heights stirred him to reach inside himself for the music he heard on the wind, like the tunes he heard as a boy and jotted down for a kid's band who played it. Eventually he transposed them as the Wand of Youth Suite for full symphony orchestra. But he was grown up now, and just an impoverished musician with big dreams, teaching amateurs. Among his many female pupils, one might almost call them admirers, was the aristocratic daughter of Major General Roberts, late of the Indian Army. An intelligent woman of many interests, Alice, like Elgar, was a dreamer. While he imagined his music being played throughout the land, she envisioned her novels becoming famous, a dream she would sacrifice to further Elgar's ambitions. And happy she was to do so, for at age 38 in Victorian society, she might have ended up an old maid, save for the younger Elgar's proposal. As soon as her mother died, she married him and set about encouraging his music. The marriage scandalized her family, who thought it beneath her, and promptly cut her off without a penny. For an engagement present, Elgar wrote a little trifle for her that was to become one of his greatest hits, Salut d'amour, for which his publisher paid him the princely sum of £5, which helped finance their honeymoon on the Isle of Wight. They had an idyllic time, and Alice poured out the love she felt for her man and his music in lyrics she wrote for his song cycle Sea Pictures, one of several collaborations.
Stay.
Back in Malvern, after dismally failing to take London by storm, and with baby daughter Caris to support, the Elgars struggled on. Alice sold her jewellery and encouraged Edward to keep writing, while she ruled the lines for his scores and walked several miles in rain or shine to post the finished works off to the publishers. He composed late into the night, despite constraints of earning a crust as a jobbing musician. Their love for each other and the ever-present Malvern Hills sustaining them. And as the years went by, their tenacity paid off. Elgar began to make a name for himself among the many choral societies that were such a feature of Queen Victoria's reign. Alice also encouraged him to take an interest in activities not usually associated with a piano tuner's son, in the hopes of some social advancement. We've known the hills are alive with the sound of music long before we heard it from the lips of Julie Andrews. Composers like Grieg, Novak, Delius and Dandy had already been there and cast their spell. But it's not only aspects of nature that live in the music of Elgar. Portraits of friends saturate his Enigma variations, including that of a very attractive fan called Dora Bella, who would often cycle over 40 miles just to visit him. Like Elgar, she was a keen Wolverhampton Wanderers supporter, and they often went to matches together. She also had a charming stammer, which Elgar captured so brilliantly in his music. Another close acquaintance of Elgar's was a dog called Dan, whose antics he was forever jotting down in a musical notebook. Here he is immortalised in the 11th variation of the Enigma. Elgar never divulged the identity of Variation 13, but recent research suggests a girl named Helen Weaver, who rejected his pre-Alice proposal of marriage, possibly on religious grounds. He was a Catholic, remember. Or was it because of a fatal illness that she finally chose to sail out of his life? Elgar's playful nature also extended to his male friends. Even the serious-minded August Jaeger, who worked for his publisher, never quite knew what to expect from him, even where such a lofty topic as Beethoven was concerned. The violin was Elgar's favourite instrument, so when he wrote on the title page of his violin concerto, "Here is enshrined the soul of ... It's clear he was evoking someone special, someone he called Windflower. Could Windflower have been the love of his life? Judge for yourselves.